Is that close? Got it.
What's going on, y'all? Back with another video. Carlito back on your screen. I'm here with my boy Nick, Nunanboy Promotions, all the way in Australia. You know, big shout out to Fight Hype. It's going great. And I want to first take off there you go. I want to say a big shout out to my boy, taking time out of his day to sit down with me tonight. And how are you, man? How's everything going in Australia?
Bro, we're good. We're good. Great to be back on the channel. Man, mad props to Carlito. You're doing your thing, bro. I've been keeping up with your stuff. It's been good, bro. I really enjoying it. You know, you do the wrestlers, do the boxers, MMA guys. Yeah. So everybody out there, man, please subscribe to his channel and follow him on Instagram and Facebook. And, man, I'm loving the content, bro. It's been good.
I appreciate you, man. That means a lot. And it's only getting better from here on in. And I can't even write this shit like this a year ago. I didn't even think I was gonna be right here at this time.
Yeah,
and it's been real good. And how's first off, how is everything going in Australia with the fighters?
Man, everything in Australia is good. It's obviously our summer. We're just heading into February now. We're obviously 10 days in, and in January, December was pretty quiet. Obviously off the back of November the 27th with George's big win, but the buzz is real, bro. We have a unified undisputed world champion at 135 pounds. Nobody backed him in. Well, a few people did, but not many. So for a country that, I look at boxing in about 3 or 4 divisions right now. I think the 135 division is absolutely spectacular. I think 154 is fantastic. I think super middleweight is fantastic. And I think heavyweight is fantastic. And out of those 4 categories, we have the unified undisputed world champion in George Kambosos. So, man, it's incredible. But January, February on the local scene, you know what I mean? It's pretty quiet. But we've got a couple of big fights coming up in March and April. We've got Shanika Johnson, who's fighting for the IBF world title in women's boxing, which is coming up in April the 20th. And obviously Michael Zarafa, who's taking on a big fight in Isaac Harbert, who Isaac Harbert has been fantastic for the sport. You'd like Isaac. He's crossed over from MMA across to boxing, and he's currently 11 or 12-0, and he's taken on Michael Zarafa. But it's going to be good. And then Tim Tszyu, who's going to be heading over your way very shortly. Tim Tszyu is going to be fighting Terrell Gusher. It looks like on March the 19th. Your boy Jamel Charlo is going to run it back with Castano, which is going to be fantastic. And I think Tim Tszyu will be probably the co-main event to that, or if not the third last fight.
That'll be real good.
So they're probably the big stuff that's happening. And then you've obviously got Jai Opetaia, who's fighting potentially Maris Breedis for cruiserweight, which is a massive big fight. And then obviously George Kambosos. George Kambosos is, potentially going to fight in the back half of May or June, and it has all the belts, Carlito. So, it's quiet right now, but it's all about to go right off.
Oh yeah, for sure. And boxing's only it's kind of awakened a lot of fans, I feel, with all the title changing and the shockers. And started off with, what's your take on Charlo Castaño too?
Look, I think it's fantastic that Charlo and what goes on behind the scenes in boxing. You've covered it, but Charlo could have sat back, and he did do this after he fought Tony Harrison the first time. He went and fought Coda and took a voluntary title defense. I think he thought about it a lot last year. I think October, November, he thought about it a lot. I think he sat down with his team, Derek James and the guys, and Chai, and I think they thought about, we need to get this Castano shit and put it to bed. You know what I mean? Charlo made some mistakes there. Mm-hmm. So as far as Charlo renegotiating and obviously saying to PBC and Brian Castano and the team down there at Castano Boxing with Sebastian, I'm just great that the fight's happening. That's the first thing, because Charlo Castano, we could have waited probably another a year and a half. March the 19th, Los Angeles, Crypto.com Arena, we get to put that to bed. I think it's a fantastic fight. I think they're two of the most underrated fighters in the world right now. I think Charlo is the best at 154 pounds. Don't get me wrong. I think Castano brought a hell of a fight in that last fight. I think Charlo will knock him out in the second fight and get it done on March the 19th.
For sure. That's what I'm thinking. Is he still, I think he feels like he has a lot to show. And I feel like he didn't get to show it. I know he was going through probably a lot of personal stuff going on. But now I think he's back to where he wants to be, and they're all clicking. And
yeah, look, I think with Charlo too is Charlo's one of those guys where I think Jamel, he's not worried about if he gets to the end of his career and he's 45-0. You know, I mean, he's taken a loss against Tony Harrison in a very, very close fight. And I love Tony Harrison. He's my guy. But I think Jamel's one of those guys where he's going to go through and prove to you at the end of his career that he ended up beating everyone in front of him. You know what I mean? Like Castano, some people say he won the first fight 7 rounds to 5. I'm going to be honest, it was either a draw or a Castano victory. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think Jamel did enough to win the fight. Jamel goes back, like I said before, Derek Chai. He thinks about it. He gets to go out there on March the 19th in LA and put that to rest. And I think he will. Then from then, you know what I mean? I think at 154, he will move up to 160. I think his brother Jamal will move up to 168. And I think that Jamel will then dictate prize fights once he's become unified undisputed world champion at 54.
All the way, are we going out tonight? All the way, I'ma chug the bottle, chug it all the way. Made it this far.